Your OpenAI invoice has a line item on it right now that a free download handled last night for 0 cents per token. The tool is called llama.cpp. 124,000 stars on GitHub. Most business owners have never opened it. Your competitors have. I'm Stewart. The build that shipped today is B10472. 60 seconds from now, I'll show you it running on a laptop, answering the same prompt your API bill is charging for. Then I'll tell you which half of your invoice moves this quarter, which half stays put, and the one question to put on your dev team's desk on Monday that will find the leak. Quick primer. llama.cpp is one file. You download it, you point it at a model, it answers, no GPU cluster, no monthly bill, no account. Repo has 124,000 stars, 21,000 forks, and 1,400 open pull requests. Not a hobby. Real plumbing under half the local AI you've never heard about. And the release train doesn't do version 1.0 moments, it ships a new build almost every day. Today's is B10472, tomorrow's will be B10473. The point is not the tag, the point is the cadence. The free option keeps closing the gap on the paid one, week after week, while your API contract stays flat. Here is the answer to the question in the title. If you're spending anything from $200 a month, up on OpenAI or Anthropic bills for summarization, tagging, classification, or answering questions off your own documents, you're paying rent on a machine you could have bought outright. A $1,500 mini PC pays for itself in about 6 weeks. After that, the marginal cost per prompt is electricity. Now watch this. Fresh terminal. Nothing installed. I hit the GitHub API for the latest release. Tag comes back B10472. Published 17th of August. The Windows CPU binary is 17.6 megabytes. 17. Smaller than a photograph. I download it, I unzip it, and llama.cpp.exe is sitting on the desk. No installer, no admin prompt, no signup. One file, one binary. Whatever you thought running local AI cost in setup time, delete it. Point that binary at any of the quantized models on Hugging Face, and you have a working assistant on the machine you're already sitting at. Summaries, extractions, classifications, internal search over your own PDFs, all of it on hardware you own, with data that never leaves the room. Here is the split I want you to run on Monday. Pull last month's OpenAI or Anthropic invoice. Print it, draw a line down the middle. On the left, every prompt that touches customer records, internal documents, contracts, health notes, client emails, anything a compliance officer would ask about. Left pile moves. Local models handle the boring, repetitive, private half of your workload at roughly 95% of the accuracy you're paying frontier prices for, and the compliance conversation ends because nothing leaves the office. On the right, reasoning-heavy prompts, long context work, code the model has never seen, anything that needs today's world knowledge. Right pile stays on Claude or GPT. Frontier models are the best tool for hard prompts. They are the worst tool for cheap prompts. You have been paying frontier prices for both. Hardware math. A $1,500 mini PC with 32 gigs of RAM runs the 7 and 13 billion parameter models comfortably. An Apple Silicon Mac you already own runs them today. Your developer or agency will quote somewhere between 1 and 4 days to wire it up, whole project. Not a rebuild, not a platform, a binary, a model file, and a service that answers on port 8080. Weekend of work. Do not take my word for any of it. Open github.com/ggml-org/llama.cpp yourself right now. Look at the star count in the top right. 124,000. Look at the release page, see the build tag at the top. Proof this is production infrastructure, not me telling you. The Monday question. Walk into your dev team stand-up and ask exactly this. What percentage of our LLM API spend last month was on prompts that touched our own data? If they know the number, ask them why we are not running those on a local model. If they don't know the number, you found the answer. Nobody has audited the line item because nobody has been asked. Your competitor's dev team got asked 3 months ago, which is why their API line stopped growing while yours kept climbing. One ask before the close. If any of this is landing, hit subscribe and come to the Church of SEO Jesus. It's my free school community for operators who move first on this stuff. Inside there's the invoice audit worksheet for exactly this move, the prompt migration checklist, and the local endpoint setup notes my own dev team runs. Free, no upsell to a course. Link is in the description. One more thing that gets missed. Every month you stay on the API, the vendor can change the price, deprecate the model, or throttle you mid-quarter, and you rewrite, pin a model file locally, and it runs the same in 2028 as it does today. Not because the vendor promised it, because you own the binary. Different asset on the balance sheet, not a subscription, infrastructure. So here is what the next 4 weeks look like if you move. Week 1, your developer downloads B10472, points it at a 7 billion parameter model, stands up a local endpoint on the mini PC. Week 2, you migrate the 10 highest frequency private data prompts off the API. Week 3, you watch the invoice for the first time in a year without flinching. Week 4, you're the operator on the block whose AI stack costs electricity while everybody else is still writing checks to San Francisco. Window is short, not because llama.cpp is going away, it's not. Window is short because your competitors are looking at the same repo I just showed you. First mover on a cost cut is a moat, second mover is table stakes, third mover is late. And if you want to see what happens when a small team runs this against a real enterprise workload, next up is the one where somebody killed a $20,000 a month invoice in a weekend. Watch that.